Stop, drop, and roll. When's the last time that you heard that? Hi, I'm Paula D'Andrea for Rock Your Life TV, and you probably remember that phrase from when you were younger, hopefully just during a drill. And today I have got a special guest for you, and that is Jennifer Nearents. She's a transformation guide, and she is going to help us give a new meaning to stop, drop, and roll. Before we get started, though, I do want to give you a reminder to head over to pauladandrea.com/RYLTV so that you can pick up a free gift from me to you, and join our guest list so you get more of the guests who are really here to rock, that are really, you know, we're looking to get you through those life's transitions and transformations as easy as possible, give you those aha moments that you need to move forward, maybe give you something to think about that you hadn't thought about before, and that's what it's all about. That's how you're going to get out there and rock your life. So again, pauladandrea.com/RYLTV, go ahead and pick up your free gift. You're going to love it. And also join our guest list so you're going to come into contact with more guests who rock, like our guest right now, Jennifer Nearents, Transformation Guide. Welcome, Jennifer. So happy to have you here and excited about the conversation that we're going to get into.
Thanks, Paula. It's an honor to be here.
Absolutely. And I'm just going to give a little mention that we've been going through this like preemptive type of thing here where all the forces, we're really like on this topic today because stop, drop, and roll has happened prior to us getting started. So open us up, Jennifer, into, first of all, I love your topic title, and you have such a great sense of humor about your approach to things that, you know, could, you know, they have a little bit of levity to them, and it really, you know, helps somebody, you know, put things in perspective a little bit more. So just go ahead and tell us about how you got into stop, drop, and roll.
Oh my goodness. Well, thank you. Great introduction. And it came about as realizing that's the process that I take my clients through without realizing it was what I took my clients through. And when I sat back and looked at it, I realized, well, that's what the critical points for all of us for being able to deal with life is, to be able to stop, drop the story, and so that we can really roll with the flow of the universe. And it's because it is a familiar term and a familiar phrase, people are like, oh, stop, drop, and roll. I know that. It's like, really? Do you? Let's talk about it. Can we talk about it some more? When do you actually allow yourself to stop? Like, well, I stop. And today's example was brilliant, the way that things
conspired. Or, I don't know, they were we're kind of like, I think we went through everything. This is, just so you folks know, this is the third hangout that we started to get us up and rolling. So, you know, we're on for you today. We are here to live potential and rock possibility. We're like in true rock your life form and stop, dropping, and rolling form. So
absolutely.
Yeah,
and the first part of the stop is simply what we ended up doing a couple of different times, is just stopping what we're doing and let's breathe. Just, yes, everything is going crazy. It's not how we planned it. It's not how you visualized it. It's not on any of the cue cards, but life happens. So what do? Do you get mad at it? Do you get frustrated at it? Well, yeah, that's our default. And the new way of dealing with life is just stop for a moment. Let's just stop and breathe. And in that breathing, take a moment and actually kind of laugh at how frustrated I had to. I had to laugh at how frustrated I was getting. So I was thinking, well, dang it, I know I did all the right things. I shut the computer off last night, you know, went through all my mental checklist of, did I do this? Did I do that? Did I plug this in? Is that... Sometimes it doesn't matter how well planned out things are, shit happens. So what do?
That's for sure. And we're gonna get a word from Ozzy just to give us a little. And I think I turned them off instead of turning them on. Uh-oh. There we go. So you get a nice rock and roll on that beginning, Jennifer, from Ozzy himself, so that you know, we know that we're heading in the right direction.
Awesome.
What is if you don't mind sharing with us, you know, you do, again, you have a great sense of humor, which I find really useful as a transformation coach myself. Of just, you know, getting into some areas with people, opening up that space for them to something that they've really been struggling with for a really long time, to be able to just, you know, let it go a little bit more easily,
Yeah.
than everything that's been, you know, there's so much anxiety and fear and all these types of emotions that come up. Is there anything that you've experienced in your own life that really gave you, you know, opened that up a little bit more for you, and really, you know, got you into that mode of, like, you know, stop, drop, and roll, and just go with the flow?
Yeah, actually, it was right after my mom passed, and we were at the house going through her clothes. It was my sister and and I had I understood in the moment that this was a great opportunity to remember, to laugh, to share, to cry, to just be together and really honor her life. And I got to show my sister what stop, drop, and roll really look like. You know, you can stop, you can honor your emotions, you can drop the story that goes along with it, and you can just go ahead and flow with whatever emotion, whatever issue, whatever life is doing for you in that moment without being stuck to a particular story.
Mm-hmm.
For example, and you know that death brings up sometimes the worst in people. It brings out all of the things that we have shoved as deeply as inside as possible.
Absolutely.
And in those moments of really raw emotion, anything's possible.
Mm-hmm.
And that is where I got to practice the stop, drop, and roll in the most personal way that I could,
Mm-hmm.
because I got to just simply be in the moment and hold the space for everybody else to be in the moment and enjoy what you could in that moment. It didn't make the pain go away, didn't make the sadness go away, didn't bring my mom back. It got us to be able to enjoy remembering how amazing she was.
Yeah, I
And
think what also, when you're saying there too, Jennifer, is that it grounds you in the here and now. You know, and what you're saying for, I think it's true in almost any life crisis, whether it be an illness or someone, like, you know, going, you know, through a divorce, or,
yeah,
you know, an illness, you know, anything like that, just had an accident, surgery, anything like that, or a sudden death, or just something that, you know, is come up, is that, you know, the situation is heavy. You know, there's no doubt about that. And like you said, you go, like, you know, into those deepest, darkest moments. And so to bring some light into it, it really helps to be able to just, you know, be present about what really is happening, because, you know, you are here. This is, that moment has passed. The person may have passed, but you're here right now in life, getting ready to rock out, you know, on a new path. There's something about you that changes in those times. And,
absolutely.
and I also think that, like your opinion on this, I think one of the biggest things that, where people have an issue with, is that they aren't ready for the changes, the emotions that come up in those times, that, you know, really things don't go back to the way that they were, or they're supposed to be. And I think that's probably the most unnerving thing, whether it be just a transition from moving from place to place, job to job, going into a new relationship, you know, personally, professionally, whatever it is. How do you feel about that, and how do you find clients are interacting on that level?
Well, you're absolutely correct. And we don't always deal with change well, but that's the one thing we can be guaranteed, that things are going to change. And it's also the thing that we always want to have. We want things to be different. And as people are working with me, we learn how to, like, snapshot the moment, to be in the moment and to see the good that is there, to be able to honor and acknowledge the emotions and the thoughts and the feelings that come up, but don't put them on and own them. They are important. And we're moving into what is and what will be. And it's an interesting distinction because there's so many things that go on in our minds that we play out in our lives that we don't realize are old stories that come up when we have a transition time, whether it be moving to a new house, or the divorce was a great one because that brings into question, what is your identity? The loss of a relationship, start of a relationship changes, what is my identity? What is my role? And all of those bring into the present all of the past mindsets, and helping people to be able to realize that no longer, well, it may apply, it may not apply. Do you want it to apply or not? If you don't want it to apply, you can set it aside, thank it, appreciate it, and release it. Move on to what is it that you want to do? What is it, how is it that you want to show up? But in order to get to the now and where you want to go, you really do have to sift through all of where you've been. And being able to honor those pain points, that they're going to get attention one way or another. And
yeah, I think that's true. Here's the thing about it too, Jennifer, is that and I'm gonna ask you this in a second because I know you mentioned it earlier. So the way I like to do it is to move somebody through as gracefully and easily as possible, so that they aren't dredging up the past, they aren't getting into the story, but it releases the emotion. And really that's it, is to create a new identity. Okay, how is my life now that I'm not dealing with that? Now that I've, passed that point in my life, where am I right now in my journey? So do you have like, 3 quick tips to kind of go through that process, drop the story, and just, shift into it?
Yeah. Absolutely. And it all starts with the stop portion, because a lot of us aren't used to being able to stop our thoughts enough to identify what's really going on in our heads. Mm-hmm. So the first thing is to allow yourself, and it's a weird word, but it's allow yourself to take a 5-minute breather break. When you're starting to feel the emotions really bubbling up, it's like, okay, hold on, world. I need to take 5 minutes for me. It's like putting on your air mask first so that you can help the rest of the world.
Yeah, I love that. And the thing is that most people, what they're going to do is they're going to go, oh shit, here it comes again. And they're going to go, try to squash it back down. So you're saying just dive right into it.
Yes.
Take a time out and acknowledge it. Don't let it, because when it comes to the surface is like the best time to, it's there for a reason, right?
Exactly.
And if you're, in my line of work, I deal a lot with people who are who these type of things like really start to manifest in the body. So I'm sure you've had that in the past too. So I love that first point. So just take a time out and take a breather.
Yes.
And don't escalate into it, but just kind of like, breathe into it.
Absolutely.
Welcome it more.
It's like the example before. It's not grabbing that shirt out of the closet that you really, really like and it's comfortable. It's not putting it on and wearing it proudly. It's stopping in the closet and looking and going, okay, I see all of you. You're beautiful. I love you all. And right in this moment, I need a moment. I even set a timer. We've got timers all over the house, because if we need to take a break, it's like, okay, wait a minute. I need 5 minutes. And I'll set the timer. And when it goes off, it's like, okay, now you can talk to me again. I needed the 5 minutes. So it becomes a practice to truly ground in the moment. Mm-hmm. So you stop.
What do you say to people who, sorry to interrupt you, what do you say to people who are like at work, who like in that moment, they wouldn't really be able to, take that time? What's the best next thing for them?
There are very, very few examples of being at work and not being able to take a 5-minute break, unless you are in a high-powered meeting. Mm-hmm. Because there's bathroom breaks, I just got to go take a walk, need to go have a cigarette, whatever the words are that you use to separate yourself from the situation, to be able to say, okay. And if you honestly can't, mm-hmm. then you can also just do a deep breathe right where you're at. Mm-hmm. And it takes a conscious, I'll put little stickers up that say stop and breathe. And it is a truly allowing everything to come back in and breathe. Just, okay, hold on. Sometimes it takes 2 or 3, But each time that you fill your body with that oxygen and you're pulling it into your body, you are unconsciously pulling all of your energy back into your corporal self. And it allows you to get grounded and clears out some of the mind chatter. Just that act of stopping and breathing.
I love it. I love it. Thanks for the reminder, Jennifer, because, you know, I've in so many shows, breathing always comes up. It doesn't matter what, if it's like, you know, feeling about, seriously, because it's something that, you know, I even know this from years as a fitness trainer. You know, that would be the thing is that people would just be like, they're going to lifts and they go, you know what I mean? It's like, you don't have to, you know, people say, well, you should breathe, you know, exhale when you you know, go through the range of motion. But I would just be, you know what, just breathe, just open your mouth, just breathe.
Let the oxygen
that's it. That's, yeah. And it always comes down to that. So I love that. So take us to the next, tip that you have for us.
Okay. So after you've calmed, you've done your stop, take a moment and just notice what thoughts are going on in your head. Actually, notice what words, what phrases, what feelings, emotions, colors, whatever it is that's going through your head in that moment. Not before doing stop, after doing stop. After you've breathed and you've settled, what's going on in your head? Is it a to-do list? Is it a replaying of a situation or an emotion? Is it a blank open space? You know, what is it that's in your head? Because those will give you clues as to what next to do. If it's a to-do list, great, jot it down. You now have organized the chaos in your head. If it's repeating,
what? That's a big one for some people. You know, it actually made me stop and think for a second. So for those of you who had that same reaction, you know, just listen back. This is the kind of information that you may have to, like, you know, take it back, rewind a couple of things for a second, but take it in because Jennifer has some really good points here. So and then our step 3 is what?
Oh, I'm sorry. Your reaction was brilliant because there are things to do in between there. Mm-hmm. This is where Reiki comes in. This is where EFT can come in. If you're having a bounce in creating that list, mm-hmm. tap on it.
Okay, give us a quick tap. Like, what would that look like? For people who may not know what EFT is, Emotional Freedom Technique, take us into that, Jennifer, real quick.
Okay. Just like Okay, I apologize for having the headset. It's going to make it kind of weird. And it's not strict EFT. It is meridian tapping, and it's my own flavor. So,
okay, cool.
And I'm just going to tap through I'm just going to tap here. I'm not going to do a setup phrase.
Okay, good.
So top of the head, and just repeat after me. Here I am.
Here I am.
Trying to relax.
Trying to relax.
Trying to allow myself to settle.
Trying to allow myself to settle. So outer eye. Could you take the body parts as you move from place to place?
Sure. Okay. Yeah, outside of the eye on the ridge of the bone right there. Okay. Trying to relax.
Time to relax.
Underneath the eye on the eye socket itself.
Okay.
Just taking a deep breath.
Just taking a deep breath.
Underneath the nose. Allowing myself to settle.
Allowing myself to settle.
Chin point. Allowing myself to breathe.
Allowing myself to breathe.
Collarbone point. I don't know if you can see it.
Mm-hmm.
Because I know.
Because I know.
Center of the chest. That this is in my highest good.
That this is in my highest good.
Top of the head. There's no way to do it wrong.
There's no way to do it wrong.
Between the eyes, the eyebrow point, other than not doing it at all.
Other than not doing it at all.
Outside of the eye. And I don't have to have it perfect.
And I don't have to have it perfect.
Under the eye, because my process is mine.
Because my process is mine.
Under the nose. I don't fit into anyone's box.
I don't fit into anyone's box.
Chin point. Because I was never meant to.
Because I was never meant to.
collarbone point. And it's okay.
And it's okay.
Chest point. For me to have my process.
For me to have my process.
Top of the head. And I'm just going to trust.
And I'm just going to trust.
Inside of the eye. That the words are going to come.
That the words are going to come.
Outside of the eye. And I'm going to feel calmer.
And I'm going to feel calmer.
Under the eye. Clearer.
Clearer.
Under the nose. And with a greater sense of purpose.
And with a greater sense of purpose.
Under the chin. Even though.
Even though.
Collarbone point. I'm not sure what she's doing.
I'm not sure what she's doing.
Chest point. Because I trust.
Because I trust.
And I know.
And I know.
Inside of the eye. That I am worthy.
That I am worthy.
Outside of the eye. Of getting this under control.
Of getting this under control.
Under the eye. Interesting. And there are great gifts.
And there are great gifts.
Waiting for me there.
Waiting for me there.
Okay. Take a deep breath in.
Most of and just for people who are just watching or taking part in that exercise, know that in the EFT, there are a couple of different ways to do it. And as Jennifer stated at the beginning, there isn't any right or any wrong. Sometimes most times there is a setup statement and go in through there. If you have a question, you can email me, Paula at pauladandrea.com. I'd be happy to give you a handout for an EFT PDF just to get started. And if you ever wanted to try a session to get into it a little bit further, this was Jennifer's version, and it was very calming. So just tell us, as we're getting ready to wrap up, what is the purpose of doing the tap?
To do exactly that, to calm things down. Mm-hmm. Because it allows us, once we get calmer, we can actually start to focus more and be able to identify what's going on in our head. When things
and with that too, is just bring us the mind-body connection.
Correct.
Why it's important to be acknowledging, saying the phrasing, and actually, you're essentially what you're doing is you're tapping into the short circuits, right? All of that chaos that you were talking about that's going, for years and years and years. You're acknowledging the situation by the wording, through the wording, and then you're actually then resetting the charge or losing the charge and welcoming new energy. Is that right?
That is a beautiful description. Yes.
Okay.
Yes, exactly. And the end goal is simply to do that, to calm you, to allow you to focus on what's going on in your head.
Mm-hmm. Cool. Jennifer, I love the information that you gave today. Can you tell people how to find you? We're in this in the wild, wild web.
Well, the great thing of having a last name like mine is if you Google Jennifer Nearents, anything that comes up is me. My site is jennifernearents.com. So I am very, very easy to find. You will find more information on Stop, Drop, and Roll there, as well as a couple of other fun tidbits on that site.
Cool, cool, cool.
Yes.
Anything that you'd like to close us out with?
Just remind people to continue to do their work and to reach out when they need help and to breathe. And I know that's, it goes back to the story of the samurai. Gets a black belt because he's mastered the basics. And it all starts with our breathing. It all starts with that practical mindfulness and being aware.
Nice.
So thank you, Paula. I have really enjoyed our time. Thank you so much.
Me too. It's thank you so much for being here and giving that, and also for the process, because I got to tell you, it was very even though it was general, it was so relaxing. Really, really of a very nice touch on your formulatic EFT and their process. So anybody that's looking to get in touch with Jennifer, you can find her at jennifernearents.com. And, this was a great conversation on just really being able to give yourself that time to acknowledge what's going on, the old stop, drop, and roll. Hope it gave you a new meaning today, and what you can do when you find yourself getting in those moments where you feel a lot of overwhelm, or when you're dealing with, you know, something pretty heavy in life, you know, reach out to either Jennifer or me. We both work in transformation. Happy to share our knowledge and our skill sets with you. I'm Paula D'Andrea for Rock Your Life TV. And as another quick reminder, head over to pauladandrea.com/RYLTV. Pick up your free gift. You're absolutely going to love it. I'd love to have you back again for more guests who are rocking it out here, who are here to support you to live in your potential and rock your possibility. Thanks so much for watching.